higher risk than even alcohol users. And there's accident statistics to prove that. 53% of the people consume alcohol, 6% use marijuana. Yet in a study of fatalities of truck drivers, there was more marijuana than alcohol in the fatality deaths. In Ontario, they say 30% of the deaths and accidents are due to marijuana use. In Maryland, serious injuries, 30% for alcohol, 30% for pot, with 5 times as few people using it. And the reason it's more risky is because the user, unlike alcohol, gets impaired every time they use the drug. And it is impairment from alcohol that causes the risk to everybody. It's when people get impaired from alcohol that they put us all at risk. And with drugs, they get impaired every time. Now, like racism, poverty, environmental pollution, we've had to coexist with rampant drug abuse. But we've never formally thrown up our hands and said we're going to resign ourselves to passively accept the chemical enslavement of a proportion of our people. And it's my hope that we never do. Thank you.
We're obviously running real late. I've told Mr. Nadelman 2 minutes, if you want to stay for that, and then we will take some quick questions. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to hold you to it.
I admit, Bob, I'm impressed. That's the most sustained presentation of the other side, and detailed and often thoughtful that I've heard. There is no time to really go through this. I would challenge Bob's interpretations and the facts that he's leaving out when it comes to Alaska and the Dutch and the Japanese and the Swiss and what have you. I think there's a basic contradiction in what Bob says. He points out that alcohol, as I pointed out, is special in the United States, but then says that if we legalize all these other drugs, use will increase dramatically. In fact, in the late 19th century, and even during Prohibition, where places that alcohol was illegal, booze still was used much more than any of the drugs. But look, what this really comes down to is really just a couple of things. And I'm not totally sure how far apart we are on this. What I've tried to get across to you, and I hope if there's one thing that you do take away, it's this. It is that most of what we identify as part and parcel of the drug problem are the results of drug prohibition. The crime, the prisons, the diversion of law enforcement resources, the overdose deaths, as well as all the excesses, the denial of marijuana to people who need it for medical purposes, the horrible sentences, the types of sentences where you have Republican judges resigning because they say they can no longer in good conscience destroy people's lives and throw them away for the rest of their lives. So that's the one point. The other point is this, is that a lot of what we're arguing about is how vulnerable as a society are we if we do de-emphasize criminal justice. I've suggested to you that we're spending tens of billions of dollars, we're destroying hundreds of thousands of lives. I've suggested to you that the decade, which Bob spoke of admiringly in terms of reducing levels of drug abuse and drug use in the middle classes, has really been a very unsuccessful decade. It succeeded in reducing drug abuse among precisely those people who were least likely to abuse drugs. At the same time, in 1980, there were no crack babies, there were no drug-related AIDS cases, the two most dangerous aspects of the drug problem. And in 1990, we have horrible amounts of those things. The ills that he spoke of are with us today. So please take that message and think about it.
Okay. Anyone with questions? It's been a long night, but if you have some, step right out and address them to either of the gentlemen. We'll just take, say, one question for each. Do you have any? If not, I think we've had a very fine discussion. We're sorry for keeping you a little later than we planned. We got a late start. Let's give both of our presenters a nice hand. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Just 2 quick points. I think we should congratulate you for staying for such a long, you should earn extra credit for this. And secondly, if any of you are interested in the organization which I support and Bob opposes, the Drug Policy Foundation, information is down here. Thank you.
Sorry about that. So much ground. Covers so much ground. A little fast. I was born in New York. I haven't lived there long. Well, see, the robbery thing was different. I thought that. And I thought, you could oh, it's not like, no,
I have a question. Are you doing anything to try to get alcohol and cigarettes out of the
basically so hard to fight. Well, it is.
What happened? It's still, but with the number